Did you know what makes a site more fascinating is the way it flat out ignores everything we think about physics and engineering? And in the last decade, digging machines and high-tech satellites have uncovered ruins that simply shouldn't exist given the tools available back then. And you're about to see 15 mind-bending locations that leave modern experts totally speechless. Now think about massive stone walls hidden under the ocean and precision-cut blocks that seem way too advanced for the Bronze Age. It's a journey through the world's most stubborn archaeological mysteries. So, let's start with us. Number 15, the Blinker Wall. Well, imagine diving into the icy Baltic Sea and stumbling upon a stone line almost a kilometer long. And that's exactly what happened in 2024, when researchers found the Blinker Wall sitting 21 meters below the waves in the Bay of Mecklenburg. This isn't just some random pile of rocks. It's a 971-meter-long masterpiece of prehistoric engineering made of 1,673 stones that together weigh about 142 tons. What's truly wild is that it was built 11,000 years ago. Back then, we used to think humans were just wandering around following food. But these Mesolithic hunter-gatherers were actually master architects. They didn't build it for a backyard fence or to keep people out. It was a massive drive lane. They used the landscape to funnel migrating Eurasian reindeer into a tight bottleneck, likely toward a lake that's now underwater, so they could hunt them more easily. It's the oldest human-made megastructure in Europe, and it completely rewrites what we thought primitive people were capable of doing with a bit of teamwork and a lot of planning. Number 14. Saudi Arabian mustatills. I was looking at some satellite imagery of the Alula and Khaybar regions, and it's honestly haunting how these mustatills just appear out of the desert sand. There are over 1,600 of these rectangular stone enclosures scattered across Saudi Arabia, and some of them stretch out for a staggering 600 meters. We first really got a look at them around 2017, but it wasn't until the 2023 excavations that the why started to click. These things are old, dating back to 5000 BCE, which puts them a good 2,500 years ahead of the pyramids of Giza. They have no roofs or windows, and the walls are only a meter high, so they were never meant for living in or defending. And the real secret was found in a small chamber at the center, a collection of cattle horns and skulls from goats and gazelles. It turns out these were ritual sites for a massive cattle cult that spanned the entire peninsula. It's a glimpse into a complex, coordinated religion that existed way before the first pharaoh even thought about building a tomb. Number 13. White Shaman mural. You have to see the level of intent behind the White Shaman mural in the lower Pecos Canyonlands of Texas. For the longest time, people just saw it as beautiful rock art from 2000 BCE, but starting around 2016, Dr. Carolyn Boyd used something called color stratigraphy to peel back the layers of how it was made. It turns out the artists didn't just paint what they felt. They followed a strict, almost mathematical blueprint. And they applied every bit of black paint first, then moved to red, then yellow, and finished with white. This 26-foot-long mural is essentially a graphic manuscript, one of the oldest books on the continent. If they had messed up the order of the layers, the whole story would have been lost. It's a perfectly preserved narrative of ancient myths, written in a text of pigment that functioned with a level of premeditated precision that we usually only associate with modern engineering. Number 12. Deep Earth anomaly. So, while everyone is looking at the stars, some of the biggest news this February 2026 is actually happening 2,900 kilometers beneath our feet. Scientists in Liverpool just released data on these two massive structural blobs called Large Low Shear Velocity Provinces, LLS-VPS, sitting right at the boundary between the Earth's core and mantle. These things are the size of continents, sitting under Africa and the Pacific, and they've been geometrically stable for about 250 million years. That's the part that's blowing minds. They stay perfectly still while the liquid iron core around them is churning like a storm. These anomalies act like thermal anchors, or lids. By controlling where heat escapes, they literally steer the Earth's magnetic field and keep it stable. Without these deep Earth structures acting as the planet's internal rudder, our magnetic shield would have probably collapsed a long time ago. And it's like discovering the Earth has a built-in stabilizer we never knew was there. Number 11. Calambo River structures. If you ever needed proof that we've been underselling our ancestors, look at Zambia. Near the Calambo Falls in 2023, archaeologists pulled 2 logs of African bush willow out of the river that changed everything we knew about the Stone Age. These aren't just logs. They are 2 pieces of wood joined together by a U-shaped notch that was deliberately carved to make them fit. Here's the kicker. They are 476,000 years old. That is so far back in time that Homo sapiens hadn't even evolved yet. This wood engineering was likely the work of Homo heidelbergensis. For decades, the narrative was that early humans were strictly nomadic and didn't build things. But this is the world's oldest wooden structure. It shows that even before we were us, we were using carpentry and joinery to build permanent platforms or walkways in the mud. It turns out our cousins were a lot more settled and skilled than we ever gave them credit for. Number 10. The Saint-Bélec slab. Imagine finding a dusty old rock in a cellar in France back in 2021 and realizing it's actually a 4,000-year-old GPS. This heavy piece of history, known as the Saint-Bélec slab, dates all the way back to 1900 BCE and represents the oldest 3D map ever found in Europe. When researchers in Brittany started looking closer at the strange grooves carved into the 2-meter by 1.5-meter stone, they were stunned to find an 80% accuracy rate when compared to modern satellite maps of the Odette River Valley. It wasn't just art, it was a high-level survey of the land. It's believed this was a political deed, or a cadastral map used to show exactly who owned which burial mounds and territories. The level of advanced surveying required to translate a 3D landscape onto a flat stone with that much precision proves that Bronze Age people had a grasp of geometry that we've completely underestimated. Number 9. Mudmal Megalithic Observatory. You know, we usually think of high-tech telescopes when we talk about space, but in Telangana, India, they were doing it with giant rocks. At the Mudmal site, there are over 1,000 massive standing stones, and it wasn't until 2024 that mapping revealed their true genius. One central rock features specific cup marks that aren't random at all. They are a carbon copy of the Ursa Major and Leo constellations as they sat in the sky in 5000 before Christ. And this makes it the oldest astronomical observatory in all of South Asia. These megalithic menhirs prove that ancient Indians were using complex math to track the stars and the precession of the Earth millennia before anyone ever dreamed of a lens. It's a 7,000-year-old star chart built on a scale that defies everything we thought we knew about Neolithic science. Number 8. The White City deep inside the Mosquitia rainforest of Honduras. There's a place that was a myth for centuries until LiDAR technology literally stripped away the trees in 2015. They call it the White City, and what they found there in 2024 is rewriting the rules of jungle survival. We used to think the Amazon and surrounding rainforests were too harsh for big cities, but this unknown civilization built massive plazas and earthen mounds right in the impenetrable green. Their secret weapon? A rainwater harvesting system so incredibly advanced that it stopped the soil from washing away, which is usually what kills jungle settlements. This lost culture thrived around 1000 CE, proving that they had mastered tropical engineering and urban planning in a way that modern cities still struggle to do today. Number 7. Gunung Padang. The year 2023 was a massive one for West Java because that's when seismic imaging finally peeled the layers off Gunung Padang. For the longest time, everyone just thought it was a natural hill, but the scans showed 4 distinct layers of intentional masonry stacked on top of each other. The deepest core of this structure returned carbon dating that points to 25,000 years ago, back when most humans were still supposed to be living in caves during the last glacial maximum. And if these dates are 100% confirmed, we're looking at the oldest pyramid on the planet. It's a multi-layered mystery that suggests a high-functioning society was moving massive amounts of stone and building permanent terraced monuments at a time in history when we thought nobody was staying in one place for long. Number 6. 6,000-year-old Timber Hall. Sometimes the most mind-blowing things are right under our feet, literally. In 2024, construction workers at a school playground in Stewarton, Scotland, hit something that turned out to be a massive Neolithic timber hall. This thing was 35 meters long and built with industrial-scale oak timbers 6,000 years ago. And the sheer muscle and organization needed to chop down these massive trees and raise them into a hall imply that Scotland had a centralized government way earlier than we ever suspected. It wasn't just a house either. They found a smaller domestic hall right next to it, showing a clear split between where they lived and where they held their sacred rituals. This find shatters the idea of the Stone Age as a simple time and shows a society that was harvesting forests on a massive scale to build their version of a cathedral. Number 5. Sanxingdui bronze pits. I've always been obsessed with how history can just hide in plain sight, and the 2021 to 2024 excavations in China's Sichuan province are the perfect example. Archaeologists cracked open Pit 3 and found over 500 artifacts that look like they belong in a sci-fi movie. And we're talking about gold-faced masks and a massive 4-foot-tall bronze tree that dates back to 1200 BCE. The real head-scratcher here is the metallurgy. They were using ultra-thin gold leaf, only 0.2 millimeters thick, and alloys that were light years ahead of anything else in the Bronze Age. These weren't just objects. They were silk-wrapped ritual offerings from a lost culture that didn't leave a single written word behind. It's a complete mystery how they developed such high-level casting techniques in total isolation, creating a visual language that looks nothing like the rest of ancient Chinese art. Number 4. The Sunken Roman ceramic wreck. So get this. In 2025, just off the coast of Antalya, Turkey, divers found a Roman ship sitting 45 meters deep that was basically an ancient cargo truck. But it wasn't the ship itself that was the star, it was the thousands of ceramic plates and bowls inside. To keep them from breaking during the voyage, the Romans did something we've never seen before. They coated the dishes in raw clay to act as a sort of prehistoric bubble wrap. This ceramic wreck has given us a high-definition look at Roman mass production because that clay preserved the paint and textures so perfectly that they look brand new. Even the ship's construction was a marvel, using mortise and tenon joinery so incredibly tight that the wood remained airtight for 2,000 years. It's a masterclass in ancient logistics and engineering that we're only just beginning to decode. Number 3. Papora Circular Labyrinth. If you flew a drone over Papora Mountain in Crete in 2024, you would have seen something that looks like a giant stone cog from a machine. This is a massive 4,000 square meter circular structure built by the Minoans around 1900 BCE, consisting of 8 concentric stone rings. Usually, Minoan sites are palaces or tombs, but this labyrinth doesn't fit any known blueprint. It's an architectural anomaly that suggests thousands of people gathered there for a purpose we still can't explain. The sheer scale and the unique geometric wheel design make it one of the most stubborn mysteries in Bronze Age archaeology. It's a massive mountaintop puzzle that proves the people of ancient Crete were thinking in complex, circular patterns that we haven't seen anywhere else in their history. Number 2. Hunter-gatherer fortresses. We've been told for a century that war didn't really start until humans became farmers, but a discovery at the Amur River in Siberia in 2023 just tossed that theory out the window. Researchers found a fortified settlement, the world's oldest, dating back a staggering 8,000 years. This wasn't just a camp. It had 10 house pits protected by high earthen walls and wooden palisades. These primitive hunter-gatherers were actually building strategic military posts to control the local fishing spots. It proves that even before the official rise of civilization, humans were already masters of defensive engineering and military planning. This Siberian site shows a level of social competition and permanent construction that we thought was impossible for people who didn't even grow their own food yet. Number 1. San Casciano dei Bagni bronzes. Think about a thermal mud bath in Tuscany, Italy, and then imagine pulling 24 perfectly preserved, life-sized bronze statues out of the muck. That's the miracle that happened between 2022 and 2024 at San Casciano dei Bagni. These statues date back to the time when the Etruscans were being absorbed by the Romans, and they were thrown into the hot springs as votive offerings for healing. Because they were encased in hot mud, the lost wax casting is so detailed you can still see the veins and internal organs on the figures. The precision of the metallurgy rivals what artists were doing 1,500 years later during the Renaissance. It's a museum-quality time capsule that shows a period of intense cultural transition through some of the most advanced metalwork ever found in the Mediterranean. And history isn't a closed book. It's a shifting landscape where every shovel turn challenges our reality. These 15 sites prove that our ancestors weren't just surviving. They were mastering physics, stars, and stone in ways we're only now beginning to decode. Stay curious, because the next groundbreaking discovery is already surfacing. And now hit the subscribe button and join our hunt for the world's greatest hidden secrets.